Hello everyone, welcome to this session. So in this session, we will talk about MATLAB cell arrays. This is another type of data. So we can see the cell array similar to table we have just discussed. We also want to store data of different data types in a single variable. However, the difference is that cell array, we don't intend to store tabular data. It's just a merely of collection of different types of data in a single variable. So in each element in the cell array, we call it a cell. So this is a container. So this container can contain data of any data type, and they can be different. So some of them, for example, some of them are string, some of them are matrices, right? All of them can be a cell in a container. So how to create a cell array? We often use curly braces or using the cell function. The cell function, cell with a parenthesis, this one creates an empty cell array for us with a determined size. And curly braces is a more useful way, and we can just put the contents in. So here I show you an example. Now I created a cell array. So this cell array have 4 cells, 4 elements. The first one is a string, 5. The second one is a number 5. The third one is number 5.0. And the last one is a matrix, 555, right? So these are all 5, but are of different data type, right? So they can be collected together in a cell array. Look at the curly braces I use here, right, to make them together. In this way, I created a cell array. So when I create a cell array, following our steps, next step, what shall we do? We need to know how to index it, right? Index its elements. There are 2 ways. First way is to use a parenthesis. This is as we use in matrix, in table. And remember, when we do this, the return value is still a cell array. So let's see an example. Our previous cell array is here. Now I do this. I want to index the second element. So I use a parenthesis with a 2. Okay, second element 5 should be here. But if you look at this, this is not, ANS is not a single number 5, but it says this is a 1 by 1 cell array. Even there's only one number, the data type is a cell array. You can see this is a square brackets inside, and outside there is a curly braces, right? So we can see using the parentheses way, we will return a cell array. And this is a way to write a cell array, right? Okay. Another way is that we use the curly braces to access elements in it. Let's say another one. I still want to index the second element 5. I can write like this. Cell array curly braces 2. So this means what? This means that we want to get the content of the second cell. So you can, the second cell is here, the content is 5. So you can see this 5 is not a cell array anymore, it's just a tuple variable, a number, right? So this is the difference. The 2 ways, using parentheses or using curly braces, both okay to access the contents, the elements of the cell, but the return data type is different. Okay, so next we will talk about how to manipulate in cell arrays, right? So here, this is the previous cell array that we have defined. Now I want to change the second element from 5 to 7. So what shall I do? I can write this. So cell array curly braces 2 equals to 7, right? So this is when we write this, we know that when we use curly braces, the second element, this is a content, and the content we replace it by 7. So you can see this succeed. So the second element, the 1 by 4 array, second one changed from 5 to 7. 5 is here, 7 is here. So oppositely, if we write like this, cell array parentheses 2 equals to 7, it will tell us syntax error. It said conversion to cell from double is not possible. This means what? I use a parenthesis here. The cell array 2, this one return is what? is a cell array. I can't use a number to replace a cell array. So this is a mistake. Then how can I solve it? Either I change this parentheses into curly braces. This is one way. The other way is what? I can change this 7, right, to a cell, right? So what I can do is here. So I can put the curly braces to 7. Okay. Now I change a cell by a cell. So you can see we succeed again. So you can see more similar examples in the live scripts. Okay. The next thing to broaden your scope is manipulating multi-dimensional cell arrays. It means so cell arrays like the matrix, we don't limit the size to be 2-dimensional. It can be any dimensional. So here I show an example. I first create a 3-dimensional cell array with 4, 3, 2. So it means it has 2 layers, and each layer is 4 by 3, right? So I can see layer 1, layer 2, and each of them is a cell array of 4 by 3, right? So I want to change the central cells. The central cells are here and here, right? 2, 1, string 2, 3, string 4. These ones, okay? So now what I do is that I use the parentheses, let's say 2 to 3 row, second column. So it says each layer is 2 to 3 row, the second column, right? So then I put this as here. So the first one, 1, 2, second one, 3, 4, right? So why I should write like that? I first use curly braces, and outside is square brackets. So you can, if you are interested, you can see more about the MATLAB help file. So a hint is that you see the curly braces, we make it as a cell, right? So this one we make it as a we use a square brackets to connect them, right? So we can you can see the MATLAB help file for more examples of this. But anyway, we don't often use this kind of multi-dimensional cell arrays in this specialization. So if you don't, if you feel this is difficult, that is no problem. Just to broaden your scope. At last, I would like to compare the matrices, the tables, and the cell arrays, right? And what are the similarity? What are the difference? So matrices, tables, and cell arrays are similar concepts, but their purpose is different. So matrices are used for computation. They represent vectors, matrices, or tensors. So all the elements in the matrix must be of the same type. And then you can do the calculations to it, right? And cell arrays, they are used to group data of different types together. So we commonly use to store objects or mixed data sets in a single variable. This is just for storage, right? The collect of many variables into a single variable. This is just for collection. So cell arrays, we can't do the numerical operations to it. We can't add them, we can't multiply them. So this is not possible. So tables are used for the spreadsheets or tabular data, right? So this is for special use. Although they are also of different data types, but their purpose is to use them as spreadsheets. So that we can use them to represent the columns of data. And also for table, we don't support the numerical operations, but we can access the table content by columns or rows, right? So these are the differences of the 3 things we have learned. Their purpose is different. So here I summarize them. Okay, thank you very much. That's all for this session. Bye-bye.